assuming you can all hear me. We're off into new realms today, but just to let me recap on where we're up to. So far, I have concentrated entirely on automatic squeezes. You know the basis of a squeeze now. You need at least 2 threats, and for simple squeezes, just 2 threats. And you need a busy opponent who's looking after the guards. And because you have 2 hands, you play off all your side suit winners, and while you can hang on to your threats, the sole person guarding against them just can't keep it up and ends up having to unguard one, and we get an extra trick out of it. And it's easy when the threats are in 2 hands. You've got the single threat in one hand, the entry threat in the other, so it's very easy for us to keep all our cards, and just difficult for them because it's just one hand. So now we're moving on to something slightly more difficult, because I'm going to ask what happens if both of our threats now are in the same hand, rather than split between
Hello there,
two.
just speaking briefly to see if I am heard.
You are heard.
Thank you. I'll mute myself now.
So, can we still have squeezes? I'm going to... It depends. If you're talking to simple squeezes, you still need an entry with one of the threats. So the hand that's got these 2 threats still needs a single threat and an entry threat. So that's an entry with a threat. And can it have anything else? Well, it certainly can't have the squeeze card. If you put everything into the same hand, then it's easy for the busy player. He just keeps exactly the same cards as the hand with everything in it, and he's always got a guard for whatever you're doing. So if indeed we have one hand which has a single threat and an entry threat, then you must be playing the squeeze card from the other hand. Now, I don't want to keep saying the other hand, the hand with the entry card or something. So I'm going to give a layout so that we can be definite what we're imagining. Let us suppose that the 2 threats are in the dummy, in the north hand. And let us suppose that the squeeze card is in the south hand. It could just as well be the other way around, but that's for me to talk about it with you. I play off my squeeze card. What happens to my dummy when it comes to the dummy's turn to play? Well, the sad news is that dummy can no longer hold on to everything. Dummy effectively is squeezed, and it'll have to make a decision. Does it throw away the single threat, or does it throw away the entry threat? They'll have to do one or the other, because now they're all cramped together in the same hand. And so, do I manage to manufacture an extra trick? Well, it depends on the position of the busy player at the table. That's why these squeezes are called positional squeezes. You see, after I go and play up my squeeze card in the south hand as declarer, West has to go and make the first decision. West has to go and play a card. Now, if West is the busy card, West will have to unguard either the single threat or the entry threat. That's great for me. I will watch carefully what West does, and then I will do the opposite. If West goes and throws away his single guard, I'm going to keep my single threat, which has now become a winner. Hooray! And if West goes and throws away his support card in the entry suit, well, I'll just throw away my single threat and play on the entry suit in the normal way. So it's great when the second player to play, West in this case, is the busy player looking after all the threats. Now, the news is not so good when it's East in the 4th position, who's the busy player. Because now, of course, it's dummy who plays first. And I have to choose which of my threats I'm throwing away. And then East has a wonderful time, because whatever I decide I will throw away as a threat, East no longer has to keep guarded, and he just throws away the same thing, and I don't make a trick out of it. So in these situations where the threats are all in one hand, we still have the possibility of a squeeze, but it's limited to the second player on the squeeze. The squeeze card is always opposite the 2 threats. So I'm going to play the squeeze card, and it has to be the next player who is the busy player and plays before me. Then I can do the right thing and manufacture an extra trade. Okay, so that's the theory. So how do we actually set about it? Amazingly, it is exactly the same routine that we practiced before. It goes through key cards, where are they, count, make a plan, and what do we watch out for. So first of all, look for the key cards. Do I have the threats in the first place? Yes, I do. Yes, I got 2 threats. Wonderful. Where are they? Well, before, we always, the hands I gave you, they were always split between the 2 hands. You had a dream time, it was always automatic, and now it is, oh dear, they're all in one hand, right, I've got to go and win in the other hand, and the squeeze is now much more limited than before. It's going to be against the person on the left, second player, after the squeeze card is played. So if that's okay, then the where is with us, and we're set that we can still actually execute the squeeze. Number 3 is count, and that applies here as well. You can't do these squeezes if you allow them to have spare cards in their hand to just throw away and keep the guard cards. So once again, you must, before performing the final squeeze play, you've got to play off all your blocking cards, all your side suit winners, and then only then, when you come down to all the tricks except all the, there's 9 tricks to play, you've got to have 8 winners. You need all the winning tricks except for 1. That's the count. The plan, well, once you know what you're doing, it's normally easy to make the plan. There's a blocking suit there, I've got to unblock it, and then I've got to do, and so on and things like that. And finally, what do we watch out for? Again, it's the same as before. You simply watch out for whether your single threat has become a winner. West goes and plays before you. All you look out for is to see whether he has set up your single threat and turned it into a winner by throwing away his winning card. If not, that's the thing you throw away, and then you try your luck on the entry suit, hoping that there is a squeeze, and the card he threw was the support card, which guarded against his winner in the entry suit falling. So it's going to actually be almost exactly the same routine that we've practiced for years and years. Well, it seems like years and years, doesn't it, folks? You're going to go, do we have the key cards there? Do we have the threats? Where are they? What sort of squeeze is available to us? But now we've got a different type of squeeze possible. Do we have the count? Make a plan to go play everything off. And finally, which card are we looking out for as we actually perform the squeeze? Exactly the same procedure as before. Plus, of course, the 0 point of the whole plan, which is look at the hand and do your normal planning. Say squeezes normally emerge later on. They're very rarely just there straight away from the moment the hand hits the deck. So I've got a hand to play through with you. That's the one on show at the moment. So let's have a go at this one. We are first to bid, you can see from the yellow bar, and, well, it's not a great opening hand. The 2 aces are entirely in the wrong. I like the diamond suit, but really I'd like some of the strength in the club suit and one of the top diamond holders, but it's easily an opening bid, so I'm going to open it to diamond. We get an overcall of 1 spade, and partner bids 2 clubs, which is... I'm not playing 2 over 1 here, so that doesn't force the game, but it's always good news. You have to have strength in any system to go and bid at the 2 level. And then there's a 2 spade bid from the opponents. 2 spades, typically you're supposed to support an overcall from partner whether you've got 6 to 9 and a 3 card suit. If you've only got a double turn, you're supposed to have noticeably more, like an 11 count or a 12 count. So likely East is showing 3 card spade support with 6 to 9 high card points, but because he may have more with shorter spades. So, do we bid on this minimum hand? And, well, I don't know your instincts here, but I don't see that three clubs is showing anything extra, except the fact that I do have a genuine fit with partner. So I am all for bidding three clubs on here, even though really I am pretty much, in my opinion, a minimum. And now partner makes a game try by showing he's got a diamond fit with me. So this is kind of interesting, really. The hand is now improving all the time, because if partner's got a diamond fit with me, he's probably got a top diamond on there. He's bid clubs. He's probably got ace king of clubs. The hand is looking a lot more healthy than it did, when I thought it looked when I started this whole proceeding. So I think I'm definitely going to go on and bid game here. And then the question is, should I bid three no trumps? Should I bid five clubs? Should I bid five diamonds? Well, three no trumps, of course, is one of the bids that beginners make, because they say, oh, I've got a spade stop, I must bid three no trumps, forgetting that to make three no trumps, they need to go and run their diamond suit, and it's most unlikely that partner's got the ace and the king. So it's going to go knock out the ace of spades, knock out the ace of diamonds, watch while a million spades are taken by the opposition, claim the rest of the tricks. Three no trumps with a single stop in spades is definitely not indicated unless you expect to run your long suit. Then I have a choice. Partner's bid clubs, so that's nice. But there again, he offered to play in the diamonds, probably only a four-card club suit. So to me, it's a matter of safety. If he's got probably three diamonds with me, the 9-card diamond fit is probably going to be safer than playing in the club suit. There are other considerations. You can, of course, if you're very strong, make more tricks by playing in clubs. If you can draw the trumps and then run that diamond suit and throw away all the losers in dummy, you can make a grand slam, providing partner's got ace, king, queen of clubs and ace, king of diamonds. But on the weaker hands, rather than go for...
You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Was that a comment?
No, that was someone who coming in who isn't supposed to.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay. Weird. Okay. So my advice on these is to go for the safer suit rather than the if I could draw the clubs and then roll my diamonds, I can make a million tricks. We're pushing it a bit here to bid game at all. So bidding it in the safer suit is really indicated. And besides, I wouldn't be the declarer if I bid it in clubs. So surely I'm a better player than my partner is. So off we go with the king of spades. So, roughly as I expected, except he seems to have the king of hearts and not the king of diamonds. So it looks as though I've done the right thing. All being well, I will just lose ace and king of diamonds, and the club suit will hopefully break 3-2, and so I'll just lose the two top diamonds. Not a lot for me to do here then. Let's take the first trick. Do I need to cross the dummy and lead towards the queen jack? No, they're so strong I can just lead them from hand. And besides, leading clubs, or I suppose I could lead a heart to cross the dummy. But even if somebody's got a singleton ace, I can still just continue playing jack 10. So I'm just going to go for it straight away and the diamond. Now, as you can see all the hands, East has an interesting decision. He does indeed have three spades, but he knows partner overcalled, and therefore will have five spades. There's four here. He knows I am void in spades. So he knows there are no spade tricks, but looking at that dummy, it won't be clear for him where to go for additional tricks. He's actually got ace and king of diamonds, so he knows that if partner's got the ace of hearts, I am going down. But there again, surely I got the ace of hearts to go and bid this game. So it won't be obvious to him what to do. I'm going to assume he plays back a spade. It's not clear what he should be doing, to be honest. So let's see who does that. Well, I'm going to rough that. Nobody's going to over rough me. And another diamond. And throw a spade. Another there. The ace. And now East probably will reconsider. And probably, I don't know, probably going to switch to a heart here. So, right, well, I could be in either hand to go and draw the trumps. The real thing at this point would be I should be planning for the rest of the hand. Because whenever you've got this sort of situation of if the clubs are breaking 3-2, I'm going to make the contract, you should always think, what happens if they're not? And what happens if they're not is, while you now have a club loser, you also have a club threat. Because somebody must have 4 or 5 clubs, and so your 2 clubs can only be beaten by that one person. Do you have a second threat? And the answer is, well, not at the moment, but since I believe from the overcall that West has 5 spades, if I were to rough another spade, then I would indeed have a threat. I'd have 2 threats. Where would they be? That 10 of spades would be a single threat in dummy. The clubs would be an entry threat, also in dummy. That's bad news, all in the same hand. Well, okay, never mind. And whom would I have to squeeze? I'd be playing the squeeze card from hand, so it would have to be West who's looking after all of the guard cards. Well, I know he's looking after the spades, so it's worthwhile playing it this way because he might also be looking after the clubs. So when should I go and take the extra spade over? I don't see any reason why I shouldn't do it straight away. So I'm going to actually win that in dummy in order to lead a spade. Aha, just as well I did that because the 10 of spades wasn't a threat before I did this. Either side could have beaten the 10 of spades. But now that jack has gone, now I'm from the overcall, I've definitely got a threat of the 10 of spades against the queen. Time to draw the last trump. And there she goes. And now all I have to do is finish my squeeze in the usual way. So I've got to play off any blocking cards. Nope, the 10 of spades isn't blocked. No need ever to go and cash cards in the entry suit. And I've got to cash the ace of hearts as my side winner. Which will I do first? I don't know. How about cashing the ace of hearts first? So ace of hearts, queen of hearts, 2 of hearts, small heart. And finally the fun card. And now you all like to know what's going on, so I'll show it to you. Where's that then? Teaching options and show all things. Here we go. West did indeed have 4 clubs, so it was worthwhile doing all the extra work. I mean, it was just a precaution, really. Most of the time, you do expect the suit to split 3-2, 2/3 of the time. But why not go for the other 2/3? So I say it's worthwhile doing the extra bit of thought about, well, if it's not breaking, it's a threat. Have I a second threat? Hey, I do. So run through the routine. And of course, the final thing I should have said earlier is, what am I looking for as I play the 9 of diamonds? It's always the card that beats the single threat. So I'm looking for the queen of spades, the only spade that hasn't been played so far. I can't believe that West would throw it away. He'd throw a club. So when I don't see the queen of spades, it's the 10 of spades I throw away because that's not a winner and there's no point in my keeping it. Then I try my luck on the clubs. And of course, my luck is very definitely in. Things broke. Do I need to play all this through? Yes, it's always nice to see people suffer. So there it is, East finally, West finally following suit the Queen of Spades, and I make my contract. So as you see, very similar to everything we've done before. We started playing in the normal sort of way, got it down to a sort of ends, and then we sort of said, well, we have extra chances here. Do I have the threats, which is key cards? Where are they? This is the one where they're all in one hand. Positional, we can only squeeze the West player. I didn't do we have the count? I should have gone over that with you. We did, actually. We had all the tricks except one. What are we watching for? The Queen of Spades. And finally, the plan, play off everything. Well, part of the plan was rough that extra spade to make sure the Ten of Spades was a threat, and then play off all the winners from my hand. And then if there is a squeeze, it's going to take place. So I'm now going to bring in new hands for you, for people to sit in the south seat and enjoy themselves doing exactly the same thing that I just did. So that's
Table options, Alan.
Oh, well done. Thank you. I always forget. Back to south only. And I think this is my hand, so export that to the table. And a volunteer, please, for the south seat. Oh, wait a bit. Whoever's there should leave. Oh, he's gone. 4 spades also applied, but I'm afraid it was game at 1980 who got there first. Okay, well, the bidding has no role to play in this hand. So if you could bid 3 no trumps, we can get straight on into the play. Game 1980. So it's pass, 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 and the lead is the Queen of Hearts. So, due diligence, examine the hand, work out what all the suits can contribute for you, and tell me how you're going to play this. Can you unmute? Sorry, I should have checked. You really should have a microphone. Please unmute it so you can talk to all of us and tell us what your thoughts are.
Hello, I don't have any spade stop.
Say it again.
I don't have any spade stop. I have 2 heart tricks,
Yep.
3 clubs, and possibly 3 diamonds. If the
No, you only count ace of diamonds. The trick you have at the moment is indeed 3 clubs, 2 hearts, and the ace of diamonds 6.
Okay.
Then you say, how many more do I need? 3. And indeed, after that, you say, well, a good chance of getting 3 is in the diamond suit. Anywhere else? I don't see anywhere else, not offhand. I mean, spades are useless. Hearts, presumably he's got Queen Jack 10, but might be able to get something going there. But diamonds is very definitely your best shot. So how are you going to go for the diamonds to try and make an extra trick in diamonds?
I can afford to play the jack.
You can indeed. The 8 is traditionally the right card. You normally leave the lowest of the touching sequences. So your sequence is Queen, Jack, 10, 9, and 8. And it often doesn't matter, but when it does, you need to leave the bottom of the touching cards. So it doesn't matter here. You could lead the Jack, but to practice always leading the lowest of the touching cards, when I teach these things, recommend you always play the lowest, because you just get into the habit of doing the right things. But first of all, you have to win this. I can't see any point in ducking, and it spoils your entries if you do, but if you wanted to wreck your entries, I don't mind. The idea of the lowest is it gives you the maximum chance to stay in hand. You continue with the Jack and then the 9, and then you're still in hand to continue with yet another diamond to the Queen. However, bad news, I'm afraid. See that costs and spade. And the Jack of Clubs, which is an interesting card. I got 2 questions for you. Why isn't he continuing to set up partners part suit? And why isn't he cashing the Ace of Spades to set this contract?
Sorry, he doesn't have the spade ace.
I say, why doesn't he cash the ace of spades and set the contract? One of the questions.
Yeah, he may not have it.
He can't, surely. I mean, he's a bit of a lunatic if he does have it. He's just random. So West has the ace of spades. Why doesn't he continue with partner suit? Partner looks as though she's got Queen Jack 10. Why not play a heart back to partner?
He's voiding hearts.
He's almost certainly singleton heart when he started, and he's now voiding heart, so he's had to do something else. So card reading just tells us things about the hand. It's sort of
Yes, four cards to the Jack 10.
I'm sorry. So okay. So Jack of clubs have been played. So I don't know. Where are we going to get an extra trick from? Because the diamond failed. I can't really set up a heart trick. If West gets in with if I duck a heart to set up the 9 of hearts, the West will get in and catch the ace of spades. Any ideas where we might get an extra trick from to make our contract?
You can try to squeeze West in spades and hearts by playing the clubs.
Yes, looks good to me. And spades and hearts by playing off the clubs. Right, okay. So, the threat you see, can you tell me let's go through our routine. Key cards on that. So the threats you see are spades and hearts. 9 of spades and 9 of hearts. Yes? You're okay with that? Right. Where are they is the next thing. They're all in the same hand, and which makes it one of the positional squeezes. You would have to end up playing from your own hand the squeeze card, and the only person you can squeeze is the second player, who actually seems to be the person who's got the spades and the heart. So that would be good for us. What's number 3? Where are they? Count. No? Yes, count. Do we have all the tricks except one?
No.
Why is that?
You only have 6 tricks.
No,
3
you have
clubs,
7.
3 diamonds.
3 diamonds, 3
Well,
clubs.
7.
And the king of
7,
hearts.
yes.
King of hearts.
Yes.
Okay. So you got your 7. You're looking for 8. That's okay on that one. So the last thing is the plan. We now know what we've got. The positional squeeze. That is, the threats are all in the north hand. You need to end up playing the squeeze card from the south hand for this squeeze to actually work. So you need to give me. You either need to play it or give me a plan that ends up playing the squeeze card from the south hand.
I'll just play off the 3 top clubs and see what West discard.
And after that, you will have to play the diamonds as well, and then you will end up in dummy, and no squeeze will work. Remember, you need to end up playing your last free card from the south hand, because all the threats are in the north hand. So if you play off your clubs straight away, I see. But you can't. Yes, this is me, isn't it? Let me just read my notes. Leave the. Right, I see. Right, I'm sorry. I allowed you to throw away a diamond. I'm going to be kind to you. Can we undo a trick? When I played this, I actually threw away a heart. So I actually was able to play diamonds and end in my hand. But what I will do is I'll actually, yeah, okay. If on the tennis right you throw a heart, then the ten of spades, three of spades, nine of spades. If it then switches to that, you will now find that you have entries which allow you to end in hand. Indeed, that's the suit. You must play that one first, otherwise, they say you end up in the wrong hand. To, six of clubs, diamonds, and he can afford a heart. Right, okay, and he can afford a heart. And now this will be your squeeze card, because it's the last free winner, and all you've got in dummy are your threats. You've got the nine of spades, the entry of the king of hearts, and the nine of hearts. So you're down to the key position where you're actually executing the squeeze. And I know you like to all see what's going on, so now let's show everybody the full hands. There they were, just as we knew. And again, I'm failing in my duty. Which card are we watching out for as we fulfill the squeeze?
Ace of spades and jack of hearts.
That's right. So if you don't see the ace of spades, then you know what you need to go and do. So if it's the ten of hearts, you throw the spade away. And if we undo, and undo again, and if I actually tried to trick you by throwing away the ace of... Did I throw the... right, okay. You've led the ace of clubs. 10 of... it's me, sorry. Right, if I throw the 10 of hearts away, then indeed you... Which one did I throw last time? I'm getting myself confused.
10 of hearts.
Right, okay, so I've managed to do the same thing again, right? I meant to try and do both. So so on the ace of clubs, right, it actually is, against sleepy opponents, the right thing to do to go and throw the high winner, because they're so concentrating on running the heart suit that when you go and throw the high winner, they miss it. That's why you have to have this last section of the 5-point plan. What am I watching out for to make absolutely sure you do the right thing? And you've had you played it very well. Do you want to have your fun and now take your last two winners, or do you want to claim, because obviously you're going to make those two as well? That's, okay, there you are. Okay, well done. Yep, okay, and I'll bring in another hand. So hand number 2 on my list. Wait a minute, Adam. Where were you when I needed you?
Yeah, sorry, Alan. Teaching options.
Okay, so here's number 2. I'll move that to the table. And yes, please, volunteers. We had 2 last time. Sorry, Isabel, perhaps I'm going a bit too fast. Okay, Bob, you're welcome. No, I don't think I said that. What I said was you needed to play off the diamonds first or you'd end in the wrong hand. And alas, I'd allowed Game to throw away one of the diamonds, so he didn't actually have an entry back to his hand. Okay, this is a contract of 6-note trump, Bob, so if you care to bid 6-note trump for me. The lead is the Queen of Hearts, so put your mic on and tell us all about this hand.
Got 5 sure club tricks, 2 hearts is 7, spade 8, and 3 diamonds is 9, 10, 11. So I need to lose 1 trick to rectify the count, probably a small spade. I got a potential threat with the 4th diamond, and possibly a threat if it's led from the Queen Jack 10. I got the 9 of hearts will become a threat.
Yes, it's actually quite rare that you can see that you need to squeeze absolutely straight away at trick one. But you can see it here because there just is nowhere to go in the normal. You cannot set off the fourth diamond. It's automatically a loser. You're missing king, queen, jack of spades. The 10 and 9 of spades are useless to you, and so on. So in these situations, your thoughts should turn to, well, maybe I can just do something with squeeze technique because you don't need winners for squeezes. What you need is threats, cards which are almost winners. You're quite right. The diamond is always a threat. No matter how they break, only one person is going to beat the three of diamonds. And you hope indeed, I think it is unlikely that the 10 of spades is a threat, because that would mean that somebody is looking after king, queen, and jack of spades. Remember, if they're both looking after the suits, they never have any problem. One of them keeps that suit and the other one keeps the other. It always has to be only one player can beat the card. So 10 of spades is possible. Somebody might have king, queen, jack, but it's unlikely. But the lead of the queen does suggest queen, jack, 10. So the 9 of hearts is a possible. So you jump that into the plan. Go on. The squeeze cards are where?
The squeeze card will be in my hand, so I need to keep the king of hearts as an entry. So I take the first heart with the ace, ditch a spade, and then cash 3 rounds of diamonds, keeping the 2 in dummy as a squeeze, and then play off the clubs. And hopefully West will have 4 or more diamonds plus the jack 10 of hearts.
Okay, you jump me through some of the theory. Well, one of the things is always, because where are the threats, right? So having identified the threats, the next thing is where are they? They're both in the north hand, which means it's one of these positional squeezes, and that's why you say, so the squeeze card has to be in the south hand. But you're jumping over a lot of the reasoning that leads you to why the squeeze card has to be in the south hand, because both of the threats are in the north hand. That's a positional squeeze, and that's when you have to have the excuse me, the squeeze card in the south hand. And of course the squeeze can only operate against West. So not only does West have to have queen, jack, 10 of hearts, you've got to hope he's the guy looking after the diamond suit. You'll remember when I first started squeeze technique, I told you that squeeze is a lower chance than a finesse, because the chance that somebody's got both of them is less than normally they're split rather than they're all in one hand. These positional squeezes are even worse, because it's got to be a particular player has all of the hearts and all of the diamonds. So they're relatively rare in the sense of happening naturally, although there are some situations where you can tell they're going to work because of the bidding of the play. But here you really have to be very lucky for West to have the diamonds as well as the hearts. But you're right in your analysis. The threats were both in dummy, you need the squeeze card in the hand, and you were right as well about the count. You don't have all the tricks but one, and you can't duck a heart because you'd no longer have the 9 of hearts as a threat. You can't duck any clubs because they're solid, and you can't duck a diamond because that would just throw away your threat in the diamond suit. It has to be the spades that you give up a trick in to bring the count down to all the tricks except one. As to where you win the first one, I'm not sure it matters, does it? A plan to play the clubs at the end is always going to... You have so many interests in the clubs. I think you win the heart.
If they, oh yeah,
Yeah, I say
I can have an entry in diamonds. I was thinking I needed the entry in hearts in case when I play a spade they knock the ace out. I was going to play 3 rounds of diamonds early after I've knocked the spade out, and
they're likely to knock the heart out anyway. The entry out in hearts anyway.
I got lots of entries.
Let's get to the stage where you play the spade, and I'll discuss a bit further. Win whichever hand you like. I don't mind, because I don't think it matters.
I got lots of entries in clubs anyway.
For your final. play, yeah. But you are a bit short of entries to Dominic. 6. Okay. East has an option here. He can play a heart and take out your heart entry. It didn't matter which way you win. He could always play a heart and take out your heart entry. Or he can play a spade and take out your spade entry. The good news is he can't do both. I think he doesn't. No, I'm not. I get myself confused. Here, his natural play anyway is the heart. So okay, he would take out the. So the heart is no longer an entry threat. The hearts is very definitely the 10. It is Queen Jack 10. Thank goodness for that. Okay, so we're now coming down to the plan bit. We've got to cash all blocking cards, all side suit cards, and then end up in hand. So how are you going to play it? 9 of hearts is one of your threats. Diamonds is the entry threat.
So I play the spade and then all the clubs.
I think that's the spade clears that free suit, and then the clubs does that one, and then we're down to the basic position of. Okay, that's got rid of that side suit card. And now the clubs. So what are people keeping? I think he will keep that. And he'll probably keep that. Which card aren't you using? Yeah, that's the one. Okay, and he'll probably throw the heart because it's a loser. And now
the Jack of Hearts. So the Jack of Hearts.
Well done. Yes, I should have. Yeah, I really need to get it all up. Which card are we watching for? You're quite right. We're looking for the Jack of Hearts. So here's a full hand for you and for everybody, for that matter. So teaching options. Click on that thing. Click on that thing. There you go. So you were lucky. He did have the diamonds as well as the heart, and you're right. You're looking for the Jack of Hearts. Well, I say it is sneaky to throw it away. I have successfully thrown away things like the Jack of Hearts, and Declarer has thrown away the 9 of Hearts and then gone for the diamonds. And so, if you're defending against the squeeze, don't think you automatically have to sort of. Declarer can be in a rut and just forget what he's doing and. So the 10 of clubs, he'll probably throw a spade. And now, what else can you do except try your diamond suit to see whether he's been forced to throw away a diamond? And he has, to your great joy and happiness. And so in comes your contract. Well done, Bob.
Thank you.
You're seeing it very clearly, but you're leaping through to the answer instead of doing it step by step to help everybody else who's still trying to follow the process of the 5-step thing. But you're obviously, you're clearly seeing where you're going, and you're getting very quickly to the answer, which of course is where you want to be, but doesn't help everybody else who's actually watching the table. Okay, off you go. Thank you for coming, and
thank you.
You're welcome. Teaching options.
Thank you, Alan.
Players. Right. And let's go to the next hand on the list. Barbara taught me how to do this. It's been a godsend. I love Barbara. Is she here? I don't know, but she's really useful. I'll upload this deal to the table. And a volunteer for the sound seat, please. Come on, there must be somebody watching. Can't just be me and Kathy, surely. Okay. Welcome, Cookie. Just beat you, Ken. Right, let me have a look. This is where the bidding matters, so let's go through the bidding sequence. They kick off with the 3 spade bid, so already you've got problems. Should you double and bid 4 hearts to show extra strength, or should you...
This is Shankar.
Say it again?
Okay, so 3 spade, and I have about 4 into 6, 7, 11. And I'll just double for now to show that I have a very strong hand.
Okay.
And see what, because I can wait for the bid and then I can show my hearts if anything happens. Or I don't know, I don't want to take a chance with no trump saying I have a long suit to run. Yeah.
It's a difficult decision because, of course...
Yeah, I'll just double.
Okay, I don't mind. So double, pass, 4 no trump. He can play in either minor.
Ooh. I can play either minor. That looks okay. What is this 4 not? What did you say was this 4 not trump?
4 no trump opposite to double shares. I am willing to play in 5 clubs or 5 diamonds.
Oh, okay, okay. I think I'll just take 5 diamonds, which sounds.
So you're not going to bid your heart suit at all.
Pardon me?
You're not going to bid your heart suit at all.
I'm not. At this point, because he's showing 5-4. Is this? Oh, and North is showing a very strong hand, I think. Or is it?
Well, he says opposite a normal double, he's willing to go to 5 clubs or 5 diamonds.
Okay. So then I can probably bid. So actually, I can show my heart suit. Yeah.
I'd have thought you could. I mean,
Yeah,
I know that's his suits, but surely the whole point of doubling was to show your extra strength by then bidding your
That's
heart.
right. I show my extra strength. Yeah, I show this is my long suit. So yeah, that's. I was confused by the 4 no trump bid. Oh, yeah, I haven't seen this.
Right, okay. You haven't discussed this with partner, so I presume you've got some sort of strong hand.
So he
He's
should.
wondering how good you are. Are you good for a grand, or should you just play in 6?
Okay. Now I can show my 3-card diamond support. Also, I'm showing 18 points, and partner is probably showing a good hand. Again, a 14-point or so hand. So it definitely looks like 5 spade is. I think 5 spade is showing control in spade. Is that right?
I imagine he's showing a control in spades. In fact, since the 7 of spades, he's probably got a singleton or void spade.
I think he has a void in spade. That's how I'm going to think. And my spade is good. So, and at this point, pretty much he has shown. Basically, we can play in either of the 3 suits. We can play. The question is whether we belong in 6 or 7 in some way. And I don't know whether if there's heart king missing, and there is the 3 diamond, the diamond ace king queen. Okay. So if I count his points, he has a heart between the queen of clubs, 9 and 2, 11 and 3, 14. Pretty much looks like he should have all the points.
Okay, so you're going to bid 7 hearts, 6 hearts, or something different?
I could bid. Suppose I bid 5 now. Is it something that shows, hey, partner, choose some kind of a slam?
I'm not sure what 5 no trump shows, actually. 6 clubs would certainly show probably first round control of clubs, and I think he's agreed hearts, you see, with this 5
That's right. Oh, okay. So why should we? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, but I think we should move on because we're trying to do a squeeze later on. So
Okay,
make a choice.
I'll just bid 7 heart then.
Okay, go on, bid 7 hearts. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll bet 7 heart in this.
Right, okay. And the lead is the heart 4, because against the Grand Slams, they he knows you must have first round control of spades, so he's just trying to reduce the trucks. Okay, you're going to go one down here clearly, because if you look at do your due diligence, you've got 6 heart tricks, 1 spade for 7, and a spade rough for 8, and 2 diamonds for 10, and ace king of clubs for 12. Do you say to partner before or afterwards, you should really have just bid 6 hearts, not 5 spades? Or do you say, I'm sorry, I should have bid 5 clubs, or which of those 2 approaches do you take?
Uh,
I'm trying to trap you into an error. Let me tell you the right answer. If you say to your partner, you should have bid 6 hearts there, you're not strong enough to go and do the right, you have stopped improving your bridge, because you can never improve your partner, or at least not without sitting down afterwards and having long discussions. What you can do is improve your own bridge by saying, if I'd have done this, it would have worked out in this way. If I'd have done that, it would have worked in this way. When I've watched experts play, it's quite amazing. They sit there and they play a hand, and then one of them says, I'm sorry, partner, I should have done something. They never say, you should have done something. So for those of you out there who are sort of looking at the North hand, wondering whether North should have done something different, don't do that. Always look at your own hand and say, should I have just been 4 hearts the first time? Should I have done this? Because by those thoughts, you improve your own bridge. And as you improve, then you just become an expert. And because, you've started to think about these hands. But once you get into this routine of telling partner what to do, you never, ever improve your bridge further. Anyway, it's all very sad that you're going down, but let's play it anyway. I've already given you some help. You've got 12 tricks with 13 needed. What else can you tell me about this hand?
So, I have no. Looking at the losers, if I look at the losers, I have a diamond. I have 1 diamond loser, and my question is, what do I do with the diamond loser? Is there anything I can do with the diamond loser? Now, there's 4 and 2, 6. So potentially there's a club threat where I can throw the diamond off if I can play.
Not potentially. There is always a threat whenever you have 6 cards in a suit.
Yes.
Of course, you've got to rough one of them, but after that, only one player can be guarding the himself.
Yes. So here, and there's a diamond. Basically, both diamonds and clubs. There is a unguarded threat in club. Basically, there's a single threat in clubs, and there's a entry threat in diamond. They're both.
Yes, there is. Yes. So if the same person's looking after those, you're in with a chance. Now, normally I say that's not a very good chance, but he's opened 3 spades. So if he's at millions and millions of spades, your chances are much better than I suggested when Dummy went down. Because obviously West has only got 3 spades and East has 7. There's actually not unreasonable chances that West is looking after everything. So let's suppose he is. It's got to be West, right? East has 7 spades. He's not going to. So your plan then, you don't need to worry about count. The threats, as you said, were the 4th club and the entry threat in the diamonds. And you've got to finish up in your hand, because all the threats are in the same hand on this one. You're going to finish in your hand with a single threat and the entry threat opposite you, all ready to roll on your final thing. Oh, and wait a bit, don't you need to rough a spade as well during your...
I need to rough a spade, yeah.
To make an extra threat. Okay, so they've led a heart. Now you can either talk me through it or start to play it as you wish. Achieve that objective.
I'm going to muddle through this and have you correct me.
Okay.
So I'll take basically there are 6 and 3 9. So most likely this might end up. I don't know how the hearts are going to end up. Whether East is void or whether the hearts. Let me play a low. I'll play a low heart first because I want to see what East has.
Okay.
And so 6 and 3, 9, 1, 10. So he started with 2. So this looks good. The heart looks good. The heart looks good now. Okay.
So are you going to draw trumps or are you going to rough your spade first before you do
I'm going to draw at least one more round of trump. I'm going to draw one more round of trump. Okay.
Okay, I wouldn't because of see, if you do ace of spades and rough a spade, you've got an entry back to your hand in the heart suit. But if you draw a round of trumps and then play ace of spades, rough a spade, now you've got to cross in a club. It'd be embarrassing if the first round of clubs got trump.
Yeah.
But never mind, you're going to be all right on what you say.
I'm going to
so you go ahead with what you say.
Okay.
Not best, but you're going to be okay.
I think I'm going to be okay, but you mentioned that's not the best. Why did you say
because nobody's going to rough the ace of spades. You're going to rough the eight of spades with the king, you've left yourself an entry back to your hand in the heart suit. That's why it's the better play, because you made your entries fluid.
Okay. I understand. Let me do this with them. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So ace of spades, and I'm solid partner.
Then I rough a spade, and then I rough it high.
Yes, you've got plenty of trumps.
Doesn't matter.
Don't worry. And so you made it easy to get back to your hand.
Back to my hand.
Spade.
Now I run off. Basically, now I can. Ace and king are drawing. I'm just going to cash the ace and king.
Well, you haven't drawn all the trumps, so you're sure you're happy leaving a trump.
Yeah.
I think that's a wise move myself.
And then I'm going to keep the diamonds. I need to keep one club, so that's okay.
You need to. You will not have a club threat anymore. Because don't forget, a club threat can only be beaten by one player. If you just play off ace and king of clubs and keep a club in dummy, both of them are going to be able to beat that little club. And why you need 5 diamonds in dummy? I don't know. Okay. Now, you need to make sure that there's just one club left in dummy, i.e., you need to rough a club to make sure that there's just one club out against.
Well, that's ideal.
Yeah. Why are you playing a diamond here? I thought you were trying to rough a club out to establish your single threat.
What am I doing? Yeah.
Well, you want me to play a diamond?
I'm doing.
Okay.
That's okay.
May
I can actually. It's better to just pick enough clubs and. Yeah.
I think you should myself.
I think I should. Yeah. Now I rough a club.
Okay, and that established your single threat in dummy.
So now I can rough my.
Rough that. And now you're almost in the squeeze position.
Yes.
So do that. They have no trouble at the moment.
Now I have my squeeze card coming.
You do.
And I look for the club.
And you look for the last club, which of course he's going to keep and hope his partner's got the 9 of diamonds. So now the club isn't a winner.
I know the club is no good.
So you throw it away. And now you just try your luck on the diamond set.
Now I play the diamond. Now the diamonds are good, yeah.
And now the diamonds are good. Okay, so there's the full hand. And I say, one of these things where at first sight everything's hopeless. And as usual, I see squeezes often come in when things are hopeless, because the point about hopeless contracts is you don't have winners. But just because you don't have winners that doesn't mean you don't have threats, right? Now, the threat you saw but found hard to execute here was the fourth club, right? You actually were just for playing off the ace king of clubs and leaving yourself with the 7 in the dummy. Can you see that East would have just hung onto the queen of clubs and West would have hung onto the diamonds? That wouldn't have worked. In these situations, you really do need to take the ace and the king and ruff a club to bring it just down to 1 club in dummy, 1 club in somebody's hand, which you hope is the same person's hand.
West hand, yeah.
Okay.
Alan,
yes, Adam.
one question is being asked at the table, which is by B, who's asking, what was 5 spades in that auction?
I have no idea. These sorts of things need agreements with your partner. And of course, I was trying to get to 7 hearts by... I hoped I was going to overbid the north hand and then see whether the criticism was for north or for south. I say, I just wanted to do this little bit about when you have when you reach a disaster, don't worry about what partner's done. You may not be your partner next week. Always worry about what you have done. So what did it mean? It means whatever you've agreed with partner. It means.
Yeah, I mean,
in this case, yeah.
Well,
Should it be exclusion? Well, exclusion's normally a jump bid.
Well, it's normally a jump bid. I don't see it can exist in this sequence, and also it shows it should show a void. So
how should he invite 7 then?
Well, I think that's how he's inviting 7, by bidding 5 spades, saying.
Well, that's how he meant it. He was hoping it meant sort of, I'm really interested in 7. I've got some really good cards for you.
Yeah, that was the explanation I gave. I just wanted to make sure that you were going to explain to everyone else.
How if my partner had made that bid, I would expect him to mean that and to have the king of clubs as well. King
of hearts.
Something as well. Yeah. No, to be honest, just because partner's shown an extra strength hand, you're still asking an awful lot of partner. Ace, king, queen of clubs to look after that suit. Queen of diamonds to run that suit. Ace of spades to look after, and a good heart suit. Personally, I think he's overdone it. He's always bid 4 no trump. I'm willing to play in 5 clubs. I do think it's North who's overbid the hand here.
Yeah.
I thought South did a good job, actually. I don't know your name, Cookie. So I have to refer to you in... show your profile. Here we go. Shankar, okay? So I thought you did a good job in the bidding, and I thought your partner overbid it. And I say, the pointer, though, if partner overbids it, don't let it tie you up into ranting at him. Just examine your own bidding, and then when you get a good partner, because you thought about your bidding, you've improved it. So I was trying to overbid the North hand, and I say I really think North should have a bit more than a singleton, an ace king, and a king. Yes, partner's very strong, but you're asking for a huge amount.
And you've got another question from Isabel about whether you would double first over 3 spades from that hand.
I think it's marginal. I think it's very close between double and show the hearts, or just bid the hearts straight away. The point is, of course, there just isn't room to do it all. They've robbed you with this 3 spade bid. It would be nice to have, I am super good, double and bid hearts. I have just got enough to bid 4 hearts, which will be less than this hand. Double and bid hearts, which will show maybe a bit more, like the king of diamonds in the south hand as well. And then finally, you'd like another sequence that says, I've got this hand, which is very, very good partner, but not quite good enough all on its own to suggest a slam. And there's just not room, and you end up having to make choices.
Yeah.
I was happy for either choice because it lies in the middle.
I think if you bid, the likelihood is if you bid hearts first, then 3. Oh yes, then your partner's in a really difficult position. You probably
partner. You've
got to bid 4 hearts. So you're probably never going to get to this slam if you bid hearts first.
Trust me, North was going to overbid whatever.
I was just talking about in the real world, Alan.
Yes, I say the reason people bid three spades is to take the bidding and make life difficult. So here you are with this right in the middle, too good for four hearts, not quite good enough for double followed by four hearts. And it tends to be a matter of style. You can see it in, when you watch the experts play or read the magazines. Certain people always overbid and other people are a bit more conservative in their bidding.
But I think for everyone who's watching, I think it's probably interesting here that if you bid four hearts straight away, you're probably, even though you say that this particular North will overbid, the likelihood is most people won't get to this slam if they bid four hearts.
If my partner bid four hearts, I would make a slam try for six. I certainly wouldn't make a slam try for seven.
Yeah, so you probably bid five hearts over four there then.
I would probably bid four spades again because I've got a control in spades, and I don't really want to. I'm fairly sure he's got good hearts. A bid of five hearts is sort of saying, "Do you have good hearts?" Or then another interesting point, by the way, is given the partner's bid four hearts, that should be the trump suit. So yet another option is to bid five diamonds, not because you're trying to play in diamonds, but because you're trying to say, I have values in diamonds and I'm thinking of six.
And surely you're also saying I've got diamond control and no club control.
Yes.
I'm agreeing.
Yes.
And Bob's asked,
but the trouble with that is he might think you don't have a spade control.
Yeah. Well, Bob's asking another interesting question, which is over three spades double. Yeah. What about four spades by West?
Four spades by West is non-specific. I am very strong. I want to go to slam. North was just looking at his hand, thinking, well, if he's doubling, I want to play in one of the minors. I think he should be stronger and interested in playing in slam in any suit. Whereas 4-no trump is specific for the minors. It would be at least 5-4, often 5-5. Sort of, we definitely belong in the minors, partner.
Okay, Alan, I think I should just point out that we're about 1 hour and 8 minutes in now.
I'd already noticed. I was just wondering when this became a bidding. It's actually about squeezes, everybody. It really is about squeezes. And I'll give you more squeezes next week. Okay?
Thank you very much.
That's my time.
Yeah. By the way, what I wanted to say is by overbidding, you made us play better. You made us a better player also, just not in the bidding. So that's good.
Well, I say North was always going to overbid. But I say I just wanted to remind you that when partner overbids, don't worry about it. Just did I do the right thing? That's what improves your proof. Mm-hmm. Always did I do the right thing? Anyway, see you all next week. At least I hope I do.